Hello everyone, welcome back to Biomix Hub. In this video, we are going to discuss some questions of previous year Life Science Net. So, today we will discuss some questions of DNA replication and also of Hamilton's rule. Let us see the first question. This is our first question from DNA replication. Let us solve the question now. In eukaryotic replication, helicase loading occurs at all replicators during. See, here it is asking that when is the helicase is loaded. What happens, the helicase or the other enzymes which are needed for the process of replication, it is loaded in the G1 phase. It is loaded in the G1 phase. But this enzymes or the things which are needed for the replication are in the inactive form. They are in the inactive form. When it enters into the S phase, in the S phase, this all are activated, due to which there will be replication. So for this question, the answer is option number B, that is G1 phase. In the G1 phase, the helicases are loaded, but it is only loaded. The work is not done here. It is in the inactivated form. When it enters into the S phase, it is activated. Now, let us see the next question. This question is also about the DNA replication. Let us solve the question now. The following statements are made on DNA replication. These four are the statements which are given about DNA replication, and we have to find which is the correct combination. Okay, now let us see the first option or the first point what it is given. Replication fork is a branch point in a replication eye or bubble. Yes, it is a correct option. How? We will understand it through the diagram. Here it is a replication bubble. Now what is asking in the question? Let us see. Replication fork is a branch point in a replication eye or bubble. See, this is the replication bubble and these two are the branch point, and it is the point here. So our first option is the correct option. Now let us see the second statement. A replication bubble contains two replication forks. See, it will be clear through this diagram. This is a replication bubble. This total is a replication bubble. But when we divide here it will form two forks. Two forks are formed. Okay. This one is one fork and this one is another fork. Okay, we are done. See, in this fork, the replication will start from here. From this reason, the replication will start, because the replication will be continued in 5' to 3' direction. That means it is a leading strand. For this strand, for this parent strand, this will be the leading strand. But when we consider from this side, it will be the lagging strand, because the 5' unit is here and the 3' side is here. So the synthesis will be taken from this side, from 5' to 3'. Then when it will open a little more, then another primer will be formed here and the synthesis will be taken in this direction. In this way, Okazaki fragment will be formed in this side. But when we consider this fork, it will be the leading strand. That means it is a continuous strand. Okay. When we consider this strand, this lower strand, here it will form the lagging strand. That means here it is synthesized in this direction and it will be in a Okazaki fragment. But here it will be in a continuous strand. From here we concluded that each strand will behave as a leading as well as a lagging strand. Okay, now let us see the other options. So from here we got that the B option is also correct. So in the option we are having A and B, so we can conclude that the A option is correct here. Now let us see the third statement. DNA replication is continuous according to the interpretation made by Okazaki. We saw here that, let me erase this. We saw here that the Okazaki fragment is giving the lagging strand. It is not the leading strand. But in the statement it has given that DNA replication is continuous according to the interpretation made by Okazaki. No, it is discontinuous. Here instead of continuous it should be discontinuous. So as our third option is incorrect, we can eliminate this. If we know only about the Okazaki fragment also, we can solve this question because C option are present in all the options except one, that is the first option, which is our answer. Now let us see the next question. Here this is a question of Hamilton's rule. Now let us see what it is asking. The idea that an altruistic gene will be favored if R is greater than C by B, where R is the coefficient of relatedness, B is a benefit to the recipient of the altruism, and C is a cost incurred to the donor, is known as. Here the answer will be option number C, that is Hamilton's rule. According to Hamilton's rule, R is greater than C by B, or we can also write it as RB is greater than C, or RB minus C is greater than 0. Okay, so what is R, what is B, and what is C over here? R is the relatedness proportion of said gene. B is the benefit to the recipient, and C is the cost to the altruist. Okay, this is all about the Hamilton's rule. Now let us see the next question. This question is also about the Hamilton's rule. What we have discussed, RB minus C is greater than 0. This is a formula of Hamilton's rule. Now let us see what it is asking in the question. Individual A can derive fitness benefit of 160 unit by helping individual B. Here B is 160. Let us write down here B is 160. But inquires a fitness cost of 50 unit in doing so, following Hamilton's rule. A should help B only if B is his. We have to find the relation over here. Here the fitness cost is 50 unit. That means C equals to 50. We have to find R. As we know the formula, if we have the value of 2, we can find the next one. So let us put here the values. RB minus C is greater than 0, or RB equals to C. Okay. Here what is R? We don't have R. What is B? B is 160. Is equal to what is C? C is 50. If we want R, that is 50 by 160. This is the value of B and this 50 is C. It is B and this is C. If we cancel it out, what we will get? We will get here 0.33. So we got the value of r, that is 0.33. Now let us see the chart. This is the value of r. When it is 0.5, it will be, the relation will be father, mother, offspring or siblings. If it is 25% or 0.25 of relatedness, it is half sibling. And nephew, niece, uncle, aunt, grandparents or grandchildren. Okay. When it is 0.125 of relatedness, it is a cousin. We got 0.33. What we got? R, we got 0.33, which is nearly equal to 0.5. Okay. It is greater than 0.25. What happens? R is greater than 0.25. So we cannot consider the relation of 0.25. We have to consider the relation which is given by 0.5 because it is nearly equal to 0.5. So the answer could be father, mother, offspring or siblings. Let us see the option what it is given. See, here in the first option we are having brother or sister. It is a possible option. Now, when we talk about the cousin or uncle or nephew or niece or the first cousin, it is giving the, here see, it is a cousin, nephew, niece, uncle, aunt. It is showing the relatedness of 0.25. If we are having 0.25 at relatedness, it could be nephew, niece, uncle, aunt, grandparents or grandchildren or cousins. But as we are having 0.33, the best option which is suitable is brother or sister. So the first option is a correct option for this question. Okay. Now let us see the next question. What is given in this question? E. coli takes 40 minutes to duplicate its genome using a bidirectional mode of replication. If E. coli were to use unidirectional mode of replication to synthesize a full copy of DNA complementary to just one of its strand of the genome, it would be. It is asking what will be the duration if it is replicating in unidirection. It is given that the E. coli is taking 40 minutes of time to duplicate. If it is duplicating in bidirectional mode. Okay. It is asking if it is replicating, if it is allowed to replicate in unidirectional mode, how much time it will take. We know that E. coli is having a circular DNA. So, if we consider this as a point from where the replication will start, if it is replicating in both the direction, there will be some point where they will meet, and this is a point, this is a start point where the replication is starting in both direction, and there will be point where they will meet, where the replication will be completed. Suppose it is a point where the replication is completed. Okay, here it is taking 40 minutes to complete the replication. Now let us take another scenario. Here it is a DNA which needs to be replicated, and this is the starting point. If it is a starting point, if it is allowed to replicate in only one direction, he will complete the replication in this region. Okay, here it is in one direction, so it will complete the cycle over here. But in this case, what was happening? It was completing the cycle in the middle, so it was taking 40 minutes. If it is completing the cycle up to here, it will take how much time? 40 into 2, 40 into 2, that is 80 minutes. okay, because it will take more time because it is replicating in one direction. It will take the double time which was taking in this case. If here 40 minutes is taking, in this region it will take 80 minutes. Okay, if here it would take 80 minutes, the double time would be taken over here where it is taking in, where the replication is taking place in only one direction. Okay, and that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching this video till the end, and if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe this channel, and we will get a daily update of new questions. Thank you.